The area that would eventually become Piccadilly Circus was once open countryside on the far outskirts of medieval London. A road led west, and by the Middle Ages this was known as the Road to Reading, or sometimes the Way from Colnbrook. The most significant early development was a large mansion built around 1612 by Robert Baker. He was a tailor who had made his fortune creating fashionable accessories called pickadilles, stiff decorative collars that were all the rage amongst London's wealthy elite. Shortly after purchasing the land, he enclosed it and erected several dwellings, including his home, Piccadilly Hall. Now, Piccadilly Hall was built on the east side of what is now Great Windmill Street, and it sat amidst gardens. It must have been a lovely spot, but it wasn't quite on the Piccadilly we know and love today. But people really did love the word Piccadilly. The name was applied to the former Road to Reading. Part of it had been named Portugal Street in 1663 after Catherine of Braganza, wife of Charles II. But the Piccadilly name was eventually applied to the whole shebang. Piccadilly, the road of that name, grew in importance after the former road from Charing Cross to Hyde Park Corner was closed to allow the creation of Green Park in 1668. Some of the most notable stately houses in London were built on the northern side of Piccadilly during the 17th century, including Clarendon House and Burlington House. There was no Piccadilly Circus at first, just a maze of streets at the northern end of Haymarket. The transformation began in earnest in 1819 when architect John Nash designed Regent Street. This was part of his grand scheme to connect the Prince Regent's residence at Carlton House with the new Regent's Park. At first, this circus, and many other Nash circuses, was called Regent Circus, confusing just about everybody. Nash's original design featured elegant curved terraces forming a perfect circle, intended to be one of London's most sophisticated architectural spaces. However, the scheme was never completed as originally envisaged due to property disputes and financial constraints. The area quickly became a major traffic junction connecting several important thoroughfares including Regent Street, Piccadilly, Shaftesbury Avenue, this was added later in the 1880s, and Coventry Street, which led to Leicester Square. Throughout the Victorian era, Piccadilly Circus evolved into a commercial and entertainment hub. The famous Eros statue, officially it's called the Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain by the way, was erected in 1893, and this became the area's most recognisable landmark. The London Underground arrived in 1906, and this cemented Piccadilly Circus's status as a transportation hub at the centre of the West End. By the early 20th century, the circus had developed its characteristic curved buildings housing shops, restaurants, and eventually the illuminated advertising signs that would make it famous worldwide as London's answer to Times Square. It's a sunny early October afternoon in London town, and this is a walk from Piccadilly Circus to Leicester Square. It's hardly a huge distance. We're looking down the lower part of Regent Street here, down to where Carlton House was, where the Prince Regent lived. Excuse me. And this is one of these route masters that were reintroduced about 2022-2023. I'm not sure they were very successful. They had letters as numbers. I know the road, we got a bit of a building under a shroud. Now these adverts are nothing like the old Piccadilly Circus adverts when I was a kid. They're very slightly boring. I can't imagine your mum and dad bringing you out to see the lights of Piccadilly Circus if they look like that. we explained this Eros business a bit earlier in the introduction, if you were listening. This is one of those really annoying buskers, and if you're doing YouTube videos, which I do, this is how you get a copyright strike if you don't talk all over the top of them, because there's obviously a sample from a rather famous 1960s, 1970s, I can't really remember what it's from. I remember the Hard Rock Cafe just beside Hyde Park Corner, but Five Guys across the road here, it's really is much more a place where the kids go to for the while before they find somewhere else. Central London really is rather small. Ahead are the trees of Leicester Square, which is our destination today. But rather deviously, I'm going to take you on a bit of a detour through Chinatown. Hope you don't mind, just hijacking you briefly. That clock marks the Swiss Centre, which was just to the left of the clock, and this was a major landmark of my 1970s childhood. All the Swiss cantons are mentioned on the sign just beneath the bells. But at this forlorn looking rickshaw driver, we're going to hang a left. And we're on Wardour Street. Not an A-bomb in sight. Mr. Wu on the right here, I heard later became a window cleaner. And if you think this isn't quite enough Chinatown for you, we're going to hang a right into the very centre of Chinatown, which is Gerrard Street. In my youth it used to be a very cheap place to get Chinese food, but like the rest of the West End, it is rather pricier than it was. Lots of customers on these tables, though. We're leaving Gerrard Street to wander up Macclesfield Street, both named after the same gentleman who used to own a house on the south side of Gerrard Street. And coming up on the right is one of the notable pubs of London, the Hems. It's quite the centre of the Dutch community of London, as these shots demonstrate. You could be in central Amsterdam in the middle of a football crowd. And inside the bar, on notable football occasions, especially when the Netherlands win, it's even more lively and even less like London. But it's quieter when I visited. It's still a rather Dutch part of London, but today it was rather sedate.
Can I get a half pint of Amstel, please? Yeah.
So the Dutchness of the beer serving is rather less than desired. You're supposed to have a little squishy plastic thing to take the foam off the top of the beer if you are genuinely in the Netherlands. I'm going to head upstairs to the more quiet upstairs bar. Not that it's too busy down here, but we rejoin Macclesfield Street and walk in the other direction, south, back towards Gerrard Street. beside the Hippodrome here. We're going to approach Leicester Square station on a rather sneakier route than you would if you cross the square with older people. It's quite a direct route between Chinatown and Leicester Square station if you come this way. And as far as we're concerned, we've reached our final destination. I'll see you on the next walk.